going on, everybody? As you can see behind me, I'm stuck in a damn traffic jam, but I gotta get the intro out the way, so let's go. This is the most scariest part of my life, trying to pass a damn Swift truck. See my beautiful wife.
Casey, because I'm bundled up.
Yeah, she's definitely bundled up. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Trucking Truth. I'm your boy Aaron Hamilton, and today I'm going to be talking to you about owner-operators. Now, I'm currently at work, getting loaded. I'm up here in Naperville, Illinois. Yeah, so these guys kind of got me running a little bit behind schedule, but it's all right. It is all right. So now I want to get into this because I've seen a lot of videos here lately that people is putting out talking about you're not a real owner-operator unless you have your own truck, have your own trailer, and you have your own DOT authority, and you have and you're running underneath your own name. So I want to basically try to nip that in the butt a little bit, all right? Because a lot of people have a misconception of what an owner-operator is and what it's not. Okay, now I'm gonna basically just make it easy and explain what an owner-operator is and give you the different levels to being an owner-operator, the different types of owner-operators out here. All right, an owner-operator is anyone who basically owns a truck, pays for that truck, the maintenance for the truck, the fuel that goes inside of the truck, the tools for that truck, that pays the truck payment, that has to pay for the truck. Okay, that is an owner operator. Their name is on that truck. Okay, now as an owner operator, you could also own a trailer, and your name can be on your trailer. You understand what I'm saying? Now that is what an owner operator is. An owner operator is somebody who basically owns and has to cover all the responsibilities of that commercial vehicle. All right, now there's different types of owner operators. Okay, all types, every type doesn't make you any less of any other one. Okay, now you've heard me say there's like different levels to being an owner operator. That's the same as me saying that there's different types. All right, so I'm going to basically go from beginner to basically where you're all out on your own, and that's how I'm going to basically give it to you guys. So this is going to be a real quick video, so it's nothing like that. All right, very first type of owner operator that you have is a lease purchase operator. That's what they call them, a lease purchase operator. In other words, you might be coming into the carrier and you might be doing you might be a new driver, you know, haven't even been a company driver for a long time, or you probably been a company driver for a while and you're trying to, you know, understand the business a little bit better as far as, you know, what is it like and how to own a truck, how to maintain a truck, and being in business as your own boss, having a truck. So a lot of people, what they'll do instead of going out and buying a truck, they'll go through their company or find a company that has a lease purchase program. Now, lease purchase program basically is a company who has trucks or partnered with a leasing company that offers a program to that carrier as far as like to being able to put people in trucks for them to purchase it. But it's a lease purchase program. Most lease purchase programs out there, overhead is going to be higher than any other version of being an owner operator out here on the road. Okay, here's why the overhead is higher. The overhead is higher basically because There's no credit checks most of the time. There's no down payment most of the time. Now there is places that require, you know, credit checks. There's some places that require down payment, but they're taking basically a bigger risk on that driver, that driver is going to get in that truck, pay that truck off, and then keep it moving. All right. Now there is drivers who will get into a lease purchase program, okay, and they'll run really good and put themselves in a place where they'll actually pay off that truck, okay. But for the most of us, okay, we'll use the lease purchase program basically just to get our feet wet, to gain a little bit of experience and some insight inside of what it takes to own a truck. All right, so there's lease purchase. That's basically what I just said. It's a higher overhead. Most of your truck payments are averaging anywhere between $700 and $900 a week just for the truck payment. Plus you have your insurances and the fuel. So you just have a high truck payment, usually in a newer truck most of the time. And it takes roughly 5 to 7 years, 3 to 7 years to pay off, depending on what carrier you're at and what deal you decide to sign on to. Most of the time, also being in a lease purchase program, you're not going to get paid percentage. You're going to get paid per mile. So, and my recommendation, if you're going to get paid per mile, make sure that when you're signing that contract, that you're making at least $1.10 per mile on all miles, as well as fuel surcharge. All right, now there's that type of owner-operator. Now here's this other owner-operator. There's two types of lease operators, okay? Now I'm gonna get into number one, lease operator A. Okay, lease operator, that's me. I'm a lease operator. That's HT Logistics. He's technically a lease operator. Trucker Brown, LaShawn Parks, lease operators. Here I'm gonna go into explaining why. Basically, you go through an outside source, okay? You obtain your truck, and sometimes you obtain your trailer, depends. But most of the time you obtain your truck. In other words, you're paying out of your own pocket, you know, for your truck. And the truck is yours. It doesn't belong to the company. It doesn't belong to none. It's in your name. You're responsible to pay for your truck. It doesn't get, you know, it doesn't get deducted from your paycheck in most cases. You just have to pay. The overhead about that, especially when you go to an outside source, whether you buy your truck, you know, outright, or you go to like a dealership to get your truck like I did, the cost that you have to pay per month is a lot lower. So your overhead is a lot lower. So where I'm paying basically $2,400 a month for my truck, and the reason why my credit sucked when I got this truck, and also it's only going to take me 2.5 years to pay it off. So that's why. So, but you can walk away with paying like $1,300 a month. So a week, you're talking about anywhere between $300 to $600 a week, as far as truck payment plus your insurance and stuff like that. Now, if you have your own trailer, most likely you're going to pay for cargo insurance. See, I have my own truck and I have my own trailer, but I'm leased to a company. I don't have my own DOT number. I don't have none of that. I'm leased to a company where basically I have my own dispatch team. I also get paid percentage, and you know, depending on what company you're at, it also depends on like what kind of freedoms you get. So that's at least purchase operator A. So someone who has their own truck, okay, outright or through a different party, or I call it third party, and they lease onto a carrier with their own equipment. In other words, the carrier didn't give them no equipment, nobody did none of that. Kind of like how I did, or HT, or Trucker Brown, or LaShawn Parks. Alright, now there's a different type of lease purchase operator. There's companies like Enterprise, Penske, I think I'm forgetting one. You got Penske, Enterprise that does it. Man, I know I'm forgetting one. But basically, let's talk about Penske. Penske basically is a place where you can go and you can put a down payment on a truck, and you heard people talk about a full maintenance lease truck. Okay, usually these type of people have their own authority, and they just go out and they lease a truck. That's a different type of lease operator. Again, they're still considered an owner-operator, but they're leasing their trucks. They usually get brand new trucks. It's bumper-to-bumper warranty, full maintenance lease, so they don't really have to worry about breakdowns or changing wiper blades. But the overhead is still high. The average truck payment for one truck is nearly $3,000 a month. Okay, so when you break that down, you're still looking at what about $650, $700 a week, as well as you got to worry about but you ain't got to worry about maintenance or things like that. Just keep a PM on it, change the tires before you turn it in. But there's also a little other additional and hidden fees that go in there. But the best part about that is every time that truck hits 250,000, 500,000 miles, all they do is go trade that truck in and go get another one. So they never will ever outright own that particular truck, but that's the truck that they're using to establish their own business. So to me, in that market, the overhead is a lot higher for them than what it is for me in my situation. So those are the two versions of lease operators. So either you can go out and lease a truck through a place like Penske or a place like Enterprise to be able to run your equipment, or you can sit here and lease on to a company with your own equipment. Now, the last but not least is a full-fledged independent owner-operator. Okay? Now, a full-fledged independent owner-operator is a person who owns a truck, a trailer, has his own established DOT and MC number, all his own insurances and stuff like that. So the overhead for them is going to be definitely a lot higher for the most part, because they got to pay for more stuff out of their own pocket, and they got to do all the work themselves. Okay, so they don't count on nobody. It's not an income stream like how I got it over at my company. They get paid per each load that they drop, but they also got to pay, the insurance out of their own pocket. It doesn't get deducted from the paycheck. They also got to go out and get their own cargo insurance, all of that stuff. Pay for their own fuel, pay for different load boards, pay for all kinds of stuff. Cut, do their own extra taxes, and a lot of times what I do see is a lot of these small owner-operators who operate underneath their own DOT number, they actually use a dispatch service to help dispatch them out, so that way it can kind of keep down their own headache. But they, they got more responsibilities than what I do. As far as like they got to do their own, they got to file their own fuel tax or IFTA, every quarter. Where basically the courier that I'm leased to does that for me. They also got to sit here and do, got to go through audits with DOT and stuff like that, where I don't have to worry about that as of yet, okay, as an owner-operator. So those are basically the difference. Now, the one, in my opinion, that has the lowest overhead to be able to start a business, grow a fleet until you get to a size to take your own, that is being a lease operator like what I am or HT is. Okay, whether you go out and you go get your own equipment and pay cash for it and fix it up, or you go and go my route, where I put a down payment down and I got my truck and I got my trailer and that was it. Okay, the income, just to me, the cost, the overhead costs, as well as the risk is a lot lower being a lease operator like myself. No matter what type of owner-operator you are, you're still an owner-operator. You still got all of the expenses. You still got all of the responsibility. So don't let anybody who owns their own truck, who's got their own DOT number, sit here and make you feel like you're not a part of the owner-operator club, all because you're a lease purchase or you're a lease operator or you're not fully independent. So if you got the truck is in your name, and you're leased on to a company or running underneath your own, and that truck is yours, and you got all of that responsibility, you are considered an owner-operator, okay? Most carriers will consider you as an owner-operator, okay? When you look on the trailer door, it says, I'm hiring company drivers and owner-operators. So, not lease operators, not lease purchase operators, owner-operators, okay? So, keep that in mind. I don't care if you guys heard it over there. I don't care if y'all heard it over there. But over here, I'm only going to give y'all the mother trucking truth. Nothing more, nothing less. But I got to get back to work. So I got to catch you guys on the other side. Peace.